Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do your June the 8th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. The title of today's meditation, Anonymity Connects Us. Addiction makes us one of a kind. Our personal stories may vary in individual pattern, but in the end, we all have the same thing in common. This common illness or disorder is addiction. That's taken from the basic text, chapter 8. We do recover. By the time most of us show up at our first few Narcotics Anonymous meetings, we are pros when it comes to the difference game. Within moments of meeting someone new, we can fire off a list of ways that we are both better and worse than they are, ways in which their opinions and concerns and experiences have no bearing whatsoever on our own lives and problems. But something strange happens to most of us when we sit through an NA meeting. Whether it happens right away or after months or years, we look around at a room full of people who are nothing like us, and we begin to realize that we are sitting in a room full of people who are exactly like us. We might not even realize it at the time, but anonymity is what flips that switch. Addiction comes with its own strain of terror and desperation that we recognize when we hear each other share. We suffer the pain of wanting to stop using, but not knowing how, of wanting to stop disappointing the people in our lives, but seeing no other choice, of wanting to stop waking up disappointed in ourselves again. And yet, here we are, sick and tired of being sick and tired. We hear our fellow addicts share these experiences we know so well, and we know we're in the right place. For some of us, connecting to NA members on the level of pain and suffering is the first time in a long, long time that we have felt any connection to other people. But it doesn't stop there. First, we have only addiction in common. But when we stay and work the program, we soon have recovery in common too. When we practice anonymity, we are able to have greater empathy and compassion for those around us. We see our sameness. Our sense of connection with other NA members keeps growing. We meet members from other areas, cities, and countries. They share differently, but the message is the same. We have never met, but we know each other intimately. Such is the blessing of being an addict in recovery. Anonymity connects us all. Addiction separates me from other people and from myself. To reconnect, I will acknowledge that I have in common what I have in common with other recovering addicts today and reach out to them. I like that. I like that meditation. I hope that you do too. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Anonymity connects us. It allows us to have an even playing field. And on that playing field, it allows us to look at the similarities rather than the differences. It's not that you don't see the differences. Of course, I see them. Of course, you see them. We see the differences. We can line them up right away, make a list, as it suggests here. We could make a list right away of all of the differences and why the opinion of someone else has absolutely nothing to do with my life or what I need to do. We're really experts at that. And we use that to alienate ourselves, to isolate ourselves. And it drove us further into our disease of addiction. However, in recovering from that disease, we have to do something different. And that something different is acknowledging the anonymity in it, acknowledging that we're equal, acknowledging the similarities. Even though I don't know you, I know that we have this one thing in common. And that one thing being the disease of addiction and trying to recover from it has certain traits. That is why we can say we can be each other's eyes and ears. That is why we recommend finding someone in NA who believes in us. Because when you have that commonality, that equality, that inclusivity, that anonymity, when you have that, this therapeutic value of one addict helping another is without parallel, meaning there's nothing else that can go alongside of it in the same direction and be as beneficial as another recovering addict. We're never alone. And if we choose to be, then we suffer those consequences of that. But honestly, not everyone drives a red car in Narcotics Anonymous. But those members that have a desire to stop using, whether they drive a red car or not, can relate to all of the stuff that comes with the disease of addiction. I was amazed that if I took my drug of choice and compared it to someone else's drug of choice, there were some differences, outward appearances. My drug of choice didn't lead to tracks on my arm, but maybe theirs did. But I couldn't focus on those outward scars. I had to focus on the inward scars, the inward similarities. And if you do the same, you're going to find yourself able to connect with other people in recovery, have a relationship with other people in the fellowship. And I personally believe, just from my own experience, that makes my life that much sweeter. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to, and I will be talking to you tomorrow.